Hello everybody, Jeremy IPTTM here, and I'm going to show off my Ross Young's collection, including a couple of new additions that I picked up with proceeds from my Trout rookie sale. Ross Young's played for the New York Giants from 1917 to 1926, batting .322 over his career. He was part of 4 World Series teams from 1921 to 1924, winning in 21 and 22. He was born in Shiner, Texas, which if you ever had a Shiner Bock, that's where it's brewed. Lived there until he was 10 when his family moved to San Antonio. After the move, his father left and his mother was left to raise him and his siblings, and he pretty much became a mama's boy, stayed with her in the off seasons, and that was even a major contributing factor to his marriage failing before his death. Although the divorce was not granted before he died, his wife and his mother just did not get along, and it so that this painting that you see on the screen now, that was done by George Kindler. He is a very well-known painter, does portraits of deceased ball players in most cases, also does some modern stuff, but everything's done on commission. I got this direct from him. It is a color study for a larger painting that I don't believe he has started yet. This right here, this is a photo from spring training in 26. This would be the spring training of his last year. In 25, he started to come down with the kidney ailment that took his life prematurely and did not play very well. And going into 26, he was feeling a little bit better, but it was the shortest season of his career. That's Ross on the left and Irish Musil on the right. They have Spanish moss on their faces, kind of portraying themselves as House of David players. So this is an international newsreel photo. It's in pretty rough shape, pretty brittle, but it is what it is. Now these here, this is the 1919-1921 W514. This for many years was identified as Pep Young of the Detroit Tigers, even though it does say NL New York and has a New York, and it's obviously him. So these were released from 1919 through 1921, as it says on there, but no one is sure exactly when it was released. So most likely this could be considered his rookie card, but it is not currently recognized as such. And I have a saved listing as Pep Young, and the difference in price between ones that have Pep Young and the ones that have Ross Young's in the listing is pretty significant. I have one out at PSA right now as well. This is a 1921 E220 National Caramel Ross Young's. I picked this up raw and had it graded just to slab it up and mainly authenticate it. But this is what is considered his rookie card. In his little spot in the Hall of Fame, they don't have really any memorabilia of him, but they do have a copy of this card. So this is what the back looks like. And this is a card that I just picked up. This is the highest graded version by PSA, but it's the 1922 E121 American Caramel. So this is the National Caramel, this is the American Caramel. He liked doing this pose for photographs. As you can tell by the background, these are different locations or different photos. The one on the left, you can see there's a building and some stands in the background. On the right, although I mean it's possible that that's a building, it just looks like a fence. So this is one that I picked up with proceeds from the trout sale. Very happy with it. This is what the back looks like. You can tell it's very similar backs. Baseball stars, American National League, and then the advertising for American Caramel Company, Lancaster, and New York. And this one is the National Caramel Company, Lancaster. I believe it's the same company, they just had a name change, as would describe similar product there. And then I also have these two. This is 1973 to 1980 TCMA all-time greats postcards. As you can tell, he's doing that jumping, reaching for a catch pose. This time in a completely different location as well. But that seemed to be his favorite pose for the photographers. And this one here, this is incredibly rare. There is less than 10 of these. I'll check and I'll put it on the screen. But the pop on these is ridiculously low. It's a W503, and of course it has Pep Young. That's one thing that Ross had during his career, why his cards are tough to find, and he's kind of a difficult target for a collector, because he did go by Pep Young. That was a nickname that John McGraw gave him because he liked his hustle and everything. There's also a Pep Young in Detroit at the same time, and in the 40s there's a Pep Young that played for the Pirates. It also doesn't help that for much of his career the S was left off of his name, so he went by Young instead of Youngs, which is his proper last name. So this is a one. It was in an album somewhere, peeled off. You can see it stuck to the paper and a little bit of writing there. But overall, this is an incredibly rare card of his. And I have a Shakey's Pizza somewhere. Let's see if I can pull it out real quick. But Ross, in high school, he was a four-sport star. Basketball, football, baseball, of course, though he didn't play for high school very much. He played in minor leagues as a teenager. And he's also considered the best golfer in baseball at that time. Easily could have played professional golf if he had chose to. This is a Shakey's Pizza. They put out an all-time great set in the mid-70s, and this is him. As you can see, he was born in 1897 and died in 1927 at the age of 30 from what's known now as Bright's disease. Basically what happened is he got strep throat, and this was before antibiotics, and the infection migrated to his kidneys, and he got a severe urinary tract infection, and his kidneys sustained so much damage that they pretty much quit working properly. and he kind of faded away over 2 years, dying in San Antonio, where he is buried at Mission Park South Cemetery. And interesting fact, both of my wife's maternal grandparents are also buried in that same cemetery, as is fellow Hall of Famer that died young, Rube Waddell. Rube Waddell was he was basically destitute when he died. He died of pneumonia after helping to sandbag a small town along the Mississippi River during floods, and so he caught pneumonia, got really sick, caught tuberculosis on top of that, and passed away. John McGraw paid for his headstone and burial there, and there it is. There's my Ross Young's collection to this point. There's still a few pre-war cards that I'm looking to pick up, as well as the Hall of Fame postcards through the years. And so that's it. Let me know what you think of these two pickups. These were picked up again with the proceeds from the Mike Trout rookie card sale, along with one other card that I'll show in a different video. So that's it. Catch y'all later. Bye.